Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world watching this quick video. I'm here to do what I have done for the last few cycles, and that is to make a really early call before anyone else does on where I think the tops and the bottoms of Bitcoin are going to be. And this video is all about the bear market bottom. So just for the record, today is the 15th of December 2025. And I have worked out when I think that the bear market bottom floor is going to be. And spoiler alert, if you want to stop the video right now, it's going to be between the 1st of October and, well, actually the 31st of December, that should be. So 31st of December, 2026, which is, yeah, actually less than a year away from now. But how did I come to that conclusion, you're probably wondering? Really quick, all I do is, okay, so each cycle I've calculated the angles of diminishing returns and the angles of diminishing losses from bottom to bottom and top to top, made a channel out of them. And they have actually, they form a mathematical relationship. So they've worked for me ever since this 2021 top. It predicted when the bottom was going to be, it then predicted when the top was going to be. For those of you who've followed me for years, I have had these rectangles here predicting the likely and unlikely topping zones since 2022. And it hit bang on. Not one time did a monthly candle close above my topping outlines. It's just been so accurate. Anyway, so now we're here. So enough about blowing my own trumpet. I'm just going to tell you. So if I measure the tops of the peak euphoria to the bottoms where exhaustion, seller exhaustion hits, the time frame for that works out to be somewhere between October and December of next year. So that is a measure of the seller exhaustion time frame. So then I measure from bottom to bottom the good old 4-year cycle, which you take from bottom to bottom. And roughly speaking, that is between, well, I won't tell you the number of bars it is, that's meaningless. But if I calculate that out from bottom to bottom here, once again, it does fall within October to December 2026. Both of them match up quite nicely. And then, of course, we have the bar pattern overlays from previous cycles. And the low area where they scoop the lows tends to be in that zone too. So another form of confluence. And finally, the diminishing returns and diminishing losses angles of breaking these rising wedges makes a measured move down there as well. So what I'm talking about there is if you predict where from this triangular rising wedge here, which is from the November 2022 low to the peak here, that is one rising wedge representing the cycle bull market. That's just been broken, which means you can form a good old measured move, and it will take us roughly down to more or less the 60K zone. So you can expect us to go down, test 60K at some point. I don't know exactly when that's going to be. It could be in March. It could be later. It could be in June, March or June. But anyway, we're going to have a bounce there. It'll probably hold the 60K or just dip maybe slightly below it or just get around that zone. Bounce, where the bounce goes, who knows? It could be all the way back up to 97K. It could be somewhere around 84K, but whatever. That's not the bottom. A lot of people will probably think it is, but we do end up spending some time every cycle below fair market value. And fair market value, last I checked, was around 60K. So we eventually will break this larger rising wedge, which represents the previous cycle's angle of gradient bull market, all the way from December 2018 all the way scooping the lows of December 22, and I believe that this cycle that will be broken, and it will probably be broken kind of Q2 to Q2 to Q3 next year. And that will mean a rapid and panic-fueled, oh my gosh, Bitcoin is dead narrative. You can expect things like the rainbow chart is dead. The Bitcoin is no longer profitable. Many small hedge funds and Bitcoin proxies that are trying to do what strategy does will sell or fail or be called to, have margin calls against them or whatever. There's going to be all those narratives will take place around here, and shit will really hit the fan. People will really think that's it. And yeah, that'll drive us all the way down to these horrible lows that right now no one's saying that we're going to go down this low, but I am. I think we're going to scoop below 40K, and the bear market will be somewhere between 38K at the high end. You could say 40, but I think we'll go below 40K briefly. We may come as low as 31.5, but we absolutely will not go below 30K. That's my call. If we go below 30K, damn, I was wrong. But I think between 40 and 30K is my zone. It's a fuzzy zone. This mathematically is a normal bear market. It was a normal bull market. For everyone who says it wasn't, it absolutely was. It didn't matter how many ETFs or how many stock markets, Wall Street traded stocks bought into this thing. It did not change the fact that this was an absolutely run-of-the-mill, normal calculated bull market, and it will be another run-of-the-mill, normal calculated bear market. You have my word on that. And then, where are we going to go after that? Probably top out in 2028 at about 160. And that's a very early call. I'm not like hanging everything on the 160. Obviously, the predicting the top does depend on where the bottom actually is. So we'll revisit that. But yeah, right now, as of the 15th of December, 2025, bear market bottom somewhere before the end of 2026, and it will be between 30 and 40K. And then if you really want to get adventurous, the next top won't go above around, I'm just going to say a fuzzy zone around 160, 160K. I don't think it's going to go much higher than that. And that's going to disappoint a lot of you. But until I'm wrong. All right, that's it. Over and out. Go check out my music if you're on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, whatever else there is these days. Most importantly, YouTube. I'm on YouTube. Just search for Spectoral and check out some of my music. I'm dropping a new album in 2026. It's been a long time in the making. I won't take up too much of your time talking about it, but if you're interested, I sound a bit like, sometimes I sound like James Blake, The Weeknd, Galimatias, even Frank Ocean, hitting some singer-songwriter electronica, strides with a little bit of indie adjacent sort of production to it. Not indie adjacent, more IDM adjacent. I love my dark, moody, intricate headphone session electronic pop. So yeah, if you're interested in that, check me out. All right, Spectoral, over and out.